Hey, Jeremy the Tall Trainer here, and I'm going to talk about the eggs I eat in the morning. So I mentioned a few times, and people are like, "What's the recipe?" It's embarrassingly simple. It's not really that fancy. Hold on to your butts. All right, it's gonna be exciting. All right, so we get one of those big pans, like a casserole pan. Usually we spray it down with like one of those spray oils, just so the eggs don't stick to it as much. All right. For me, I eat roughly it was about 6 eggs a day. So I put 24 eggs in there. I whip them up a little bit, break the yolks, things like that. So they're kind of like scrambled eggs. And so those are in the pan, 24 of them. Then I can cut them up in different sides and stuff, squares, so I can eat them when I'm done with that. I take some veggies, usually frozen, for the most part, and I just put them in a pan on the stove. I get the ice to melt out of that, and then I warm them up a little bit, try to cook off a little bit of the water so my eggs don't end up weird and runny. So I get enough water out of those things. I add those into the eggs, stir that around a little bit, and add some spices to it. All right, so any kind of spices, can do with that. And so basically you have a whole bunch of eggs, a whole bunch of veggies, and then usually put it in the oven for like 350 for, since there's 24 eggs in there, it's a bit longer. I think it usually takes at least 30 minutes to do that. Sometimes I end up putting it longer because it's still a little bit runny, and I don't want it to be runny. I want to be able to hold on to it while I eat it, because I actually eat it while I'm driving into the studio. All right, and so that gives me a whole bunch of eggs, or a whole bunch of veggies, because I usually have about 3 pounds of veggies in there. So that's like 3/4 of a pound, per day, because it covered me for like 4 days. So 3/4 of a pound of veggies in there and 6 eggs, and so you don't have to do that size. It can be smaller than that. All right, and it probably won't have to cook quite as long. All right, so that is the egg casserole recipe, the quiche without the crust, without any cheese, but it's actually pretty good, especially when you add some good spices into it and some good veggies in there. So usually broccoli is a pretty good go-to. Lately, the zucchini has been on the plan there. Some spinach in there, and sometimes peppers. Maybe a pepper onion combination, kind of thing can be nice too. So that is egg recipe.